All right, but Billy Sutton. All right, everybody, here with Billy Sutton from Ottawa, Canada. All the way up there. I met Billy a long time ago at the Canadian Nationals. I think it was.
Yep. Yeah.
Scott brought me up there from Tacoma RC Raceway. Said I had to come to this cool race that's under a tent, and that was now my life has never been the same. Billy, he heads up all of our mod stuff for the whole Canadian market. He's traveling all over the states when he can. He's got a cool little custom MIP tool rack in the back there, and he's been a big part of the success of everything. And kind of we're doing all these mod live talks, and we wanted to the important people in the company. We had Eustace and Brandon on the last 2 days. My good friend Billy, he's our main guy up there in Canada. Kind of wanted to get him on here talking about his market, talking about what's going on in their community, especially during this whole COVID thing going on, and how's everything going. Thank you, Billy, for coming on with us tonight. And introduce yourself.
Well, thanks for having me, Matt. Super excited to actually sit down and talk with you again. It's been way too long.
It's been a long time.
It has. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just like you guys down the States, we're up here, we're all locked down, bored, nobody can race. Everybody just wants to jump on a track, and there's like none available. So hopefully we all get through this real soon. We can all get back on the track and get racing.
Yeah, most definitely. It's been crazy down here. All of our tracks are closed down, even our outdoor tracks. We have had some that are running with a small, very, very small group of guys, but nothing that's sanctioned, nothing that's it's kind of hush hush of guys that are out there running.
Right.
And I've seen that a couple different things. I saw Adam and those guys were running some 8 scale at a private track. I've seen different things, and I'm okay with that, social distancing and everything, and wanting to flatten the curve, and I understand what's going on. But the thing is like we're social creatures. You have to kind of get out. You start to drive yourself a little bit mad, and then it gets to the point of like, is it worth it? Kind of a thing. So, but it's it's crazy times that we're in. So you're racing Yokomo cars now. We have a couple puck systems for the truck and the buggy. I think I have one of them around here. We got one. I think this is still a favorite, even with the new Yokomo that's out there.
Yeah.
This works for those guys. And we got the truck system and just lightening up the drivetrain. So first time I came up to Canada, there was really no stock racing. When I came up, I was running, 4-wheel drive short course and light 8 scale, and I would run mod when I'd come up there. How have things changed over that time? Has it changed at all? Or are people starting to get into it, especially now that you're running a little bit more?
It's slowly but surely it's coming around more to the stock side of things. A few tracks now, most of the people are running stock, but they're running it in an open mod class. And
okay.
I think that has a lot to do with the fact there's like Canada seems to be the last resistance when it comes to stock racing. Everybody still wants to race mod. But like I said, most of the guys, even in the 2-wheel drive mod class, are running 17.5s, 13.5 and 4-wheel drive. So it's coming, but it's slow.
Yeah, gotcha. It's I think same thing with the UK. I think the US is probably, pretty much the only market for stock. But you look at the demographics of it, like Live RC likes to put out their huge demographics of who's racing where and everything like that, and what classes there are. And like 2-wheel drive stock buggy is by far, the most popular class, like out of all of RC, I think. I could be wrong.
100%.
I could be wrong. I think 13.5 4-wheels up there, 2-wheel mod then kind of comes up, and then I think 8 scale classes and everything else.
Yeah.
But it's just a really popular class. It gets everybody into it. I would say it's definitely something I'd say a lot of RC guys in general, we like to tinker, we like to modify, we like to do different things and customize. And seemingly stock invites that over more modified, where you kind of just put a motor in it and
squeeze it and go.
Squeeze throttle and go. You just have to worry about tires. Stock racing, it invites where we have the bling stuff from RC Speed Secrets and Shell and Avid, and we've got the puck systems. You have different little lightweight stuff from the factories. We have companies now doing specifically stock cars. Associate has done it, TLR, Yokomo, Kyosho. A bunch of those, all those companies have been doing stock racers to get towards that market, which is really cool to see. And we'll be actually releasing a new puck system that's way all new. I don't even know if I've sent you photos of it yet, because I just found out about some of the new designs that we have going on with this thing is going to be crazy. And I'm going to be picking up the 22X4. It's shipping to me. I just got my hands on the new Losi, and that thing, I'm seeing some of the features on it, and I'm pretty impressed by what TLR's done with that car. And Dakota's done awesome things with it.
Good. I mean, Dakota's been lights out with it.
Yeah, so he's been way fast with it, and then they have Barry on now. They've got Gil Losi Jr. working with them, so they seem to be putting a powerhouse, and them being backed by Horizon Hobby. There's such a juggernaut now that I would think they're the biggest RC distributor in the world now that Great Plains is gone, and they
makes sense.
They have instead of, I would say, following the market of what maybe some others do, or they just get products, they're actually creating and designing, and they're a distributor. So I'd say they're a huge juggernaut that has TLR on their side. And I would say they're definitely a huge player of what's going to be happening. And from what I see, they're putting the money into it, which is really good to see. And they got the entire marketing campaign around it. So I'm really looking forward to how that buggy ends up transpiring for the future.
There's a lot of people that are looking forward to that car coming out. I know here in Ottawa, there's a really strong following for the TLR, and I mean, good for those guys. I mean, they would wait a long time for a 4-wheel drive car, long time.
Yeah, I would say still to this day, probably my favorite 4-wheel drive to ever drive was the Double X4. Besides the front arms breaking on that thing, that car was amazing. Yeah. Like it was really, really good. Then they had the Triple X, which I think was kind of a flop. The Triple X4, it was good, but it just wasn't as good as the Double X, in my opinion. Yeah. And then obviously the platform was good, because then they had the 22.4 that came out, and then that kind of, they made it stronger here and there, but it was just outdated technology. Everybody's now running stock 4-wheel drive. Before 4-wheel drive was all modified, so it really didn't matter as much for the belts. Yeah. And then they still had the belt problem. They did all this and that. The thing was a tank, so it was just all outdated tech that they put into this, and they knew it. I think kind of when the XB4 is coming out, the B64 was out, and just all these other updated cars, and now kind of everybody's transferring more to, I would say, the X-Ray. I'd say the X-Ray 4-wheel drive is what a lot of these new 4-wheel drives have been kind of looking like. If nothing against nobody, but
well, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's subtle differences in the geometry, especially the diff sizes, I think, and the heights are a little bit different now between most of the cars. But yeah, I mean, the basic layout for sure, it's just all X-ray.
Yeah, so it's it's just crazy what it's coming to, and the evolution of it, and these guys are just kind of all going towards same stuff, which is cool to see. Because now everybody's getting on a same playing field, and you see all the talent coming up. I think Reedy Race, I would say everybody was under 20 years old, and in the open class for the Reedy Race, it's all the fast kids coming up. Everybody's got fast cars now, so it's so cool.
Right?
What's that?
How about Aiden Horn this year?
Aiden was super fast. Tom Redderneck, I'm probably butchering his last name, but he was really quick. And the Fuller kids, they're really fast. There's a ton of talent that's going on right now, and coming up. So it's really, really, really cool to see, and the evolution of it. So I've been kind of I backed off the 10 scale scene for a while now.
Wow.
Yeah, for a while. For I'd say the last almost 2 years now, if I'm not mistaken, kind of when MIP ended up kind of shutting everything down.
Yeah.
They ended up pulling away a lot from the putting money into the racing market. But now that mod's kind of gotten its feet decently underneath itself, I'm going to be doing more 10 scale stuff. I'm working closely with them with kind of the puck systems and doing a lot of products for 10 scale. So going to try and get back out there and represent them as well. Because realistically, you need somebody in the market, and Aaron, we've always been very tight knit and everything, and mod came about out of necessity for just kind of growth, so it's just a good thing. It's a really good thing. So I'm just looking forward to it, and hopefully I'm able to get up to Canada soon with you.
Yeah, for sure. We got to hit up Damien sometime. Damien's got a wicked track in Trois Rivières.
Where's that now?
In Trois Rivières. It's up in Quebec.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make it up. And I know you've been inviting me to go to some on-road stuff up there. You guys have a crazy on-road nationals, right?
Yeah, the on-road nationals this year actually, unfortunately, got canceled, obviously due to COVID. But they had the registrations. It was going to be the world's biggest on-road event this year.
Wow, that's amazing. I know I'm gonna have to get up there. I think I might have to race the Schmuckers. I'm gonna have to hit up what's his face from Schumacher and get my hands on one of those things. That or a Yokomo.
The Yokomo touring car is pretty good.
Yeah,
gonna have to take anything away from Muzzy.
yes, Muzz. It's a good dude, and might have to get into that. But definitely, my heart's in 10th scale, and 5th scale right now. I'm going to be doing a lot of products for them. But man, I'm itching to get out and race, man. Where have you been kind of racing lately? What's going on up there in Canada? How many tracks you guys have?
Not a lot for indoor clay, unfortunately. We got the new track in Ottawa, Electrosport RC. So I was fortunate enough to be able to work with them, get them kind of on their feet, opened up, and then COVID-19 happened. So
it's nuts. You see Mikey Brown, one of the OG cats, going up to Canadian Nats. He's kind of asking, when's the Canadian Invitational? What's going on with that?
It was supposed to be in July, but we have canceled the event.
Because of COVID?
Because of COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just too tight on the numbers, and there's no telling for sure whether or not we'll be back racing by July. So we really didn't have a choice. So Mikey, maybe you and Len can go at it next year.
I know it's it's crazy to see all this going on. I know it's affected me as well. I have my 5th scale series that I run, kind of like a JBRL, and I had to cancel my first event. My second one is on the 24th of this month. I haven't announced anything yet. I should say postponed. Postponing the event, not canceled. But we don't know. We don't know what's going on. I haven't said anything because each and every day something changes. Who knows? They might have a vaccine tomorrow and they say, all right, pull trigger, guys. You guys can all go back to work. We're fine.
Yeah.
So, but I've got zero clue.
Yeah.
So what events are you looking forward to, when this thing all does, transpire and we get over this thing?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, the J Concepts Indoor National Series, I might jump into that depending on how long this goes, the whole COVID thing. I did that 2 or 3 seasons back, I think it was. That was a lot of fun. I like that series. Good people, lots of competition. We went to Tacoma. We were at Beachline, I think it was. RCE down at Toddy's. And I think those are the 3 I hit up there 3 years ago. That was a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind doing that series again.
No, that's cool. Yeah, Toddy Anderson, the Andersons down at RCE. That's an awesome track down in Massachusetts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're down in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
They've got a really cool facility. If you guys want, hit them up. Wicked cool facility, and probably I would say one of the main ones like that of like an OCRC, a Hobby Action, but for out there in Mass, they really put in the time and effort, and it's a family. It's a family ordeal. So it's a huge shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
But my buddy's asking, simple question: how's the weather up north for you guys right now? Is it cold?
I think today was about 5 degrees, maybe. It snowed a little bit. We had some hail. Not very good.
Is that like 5 Celsius, or that's in Fahrenheit? So you
No,
guys do two different things. You do Fahrenheit, I think, for temperature, and then you do everything in the metric system for
yeah,
everything
yeah,
else.
yeah. So yeah, the weather hasn't been good at all. No, not at all.
Jeez.
Yeah, needs to warm up.
So what are the main hobby shops up there in Canada? Who does racing stuff for you guys? Really, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's Great Hobbies, obviously. They're kind of they're right across Canada, and they do a lot of online stuff. As far as the small market kind of hobby shops at the tracks, there's Center to Hobby out at Damien's in Three Rivers in Quebec, and of course Eric Duchesne at Bagel. They do a really good job for us too. They do online ordering. They come out to the tracks. They're really good. Other than that, Extreme RC in Oshawa. They got a little indoor carpet track. They got a great hobby shop though. Lots of stuff there. They're good people too. And outside of that, that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's been nuts, man. And weather down here, it's kind of been crazy. It's raining all this last couple of weeks, and I just can't wait to get back out to the track. In all honesty, this whole thing, it's given me time though to kind of work on mod, which I'm thankful for. Like everything's getting cleaned up, like getting inventory going again, and making orders. But I'm making
you move the top too, right?
get everything going again.
Yeah. Have you ever got the new shop? Are you all set up now?
Yeah, I got the shop in out here in Anaheim, so it's getting dialed down. I'm actually in here. This is my at the top here. I don't know if you can see it all, but it's
Yeah, it's looking dialed.
well, this is a loft, so I'm in a loft right now. It's up top above my shop basically, and then down over this way, that way. It goes out about probably 40 feet or so, something like that, and ends up it's big 16-foot ceilings and everything. So it's a good little shop for for my needs right now. Hopefully get some machines in here really soon and start popping out some stuff. But right now, of course, working with MIP and always will be as long as they don't get rid of me.
I don't think Eustace is going to get rid of you.
I don't think so. So we have Tom Bishop said here.
Can save you a spot. RC Madness infield for the carpet turf. Count me in.
I know. Like
RC Madness.
Race in September, so hopefully all this madness is over by then. And man, I'm like I want to travel right now, and all of the races are canceled. Like I can get super cheap flights right now. I saw something my buddy was doing. Okay, we were pricing out like a flight to Texas. It was like $40 round trip.
Really?
I'm not even joking.
Wow.
It's like $40 round trip. It was crazy.
That is
but I just saw today about 40% of all planes have been like shut down.
Grounded, yeah.
Grounded. So you're in the airline industry. That's like your main background. You're an engineer. How is this affecting all of that, from your expertise?
It's pretty bad. I mean, Air Canada, I think they laid off 75% of their workforce, which in Canada that's substantial. That's huge. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How is it affecting the little planes and everything like that?
Little planes, my dad's pretty busy at his place. Guys still want their airplanes fixed. Why? I don't know. You can't go anywhere. But so he's still got work. So we'll see.
So have they grounded even small Cessnas out there, like you can't fly?
No, but according to the whole stay-at-home kind of thing, they really shouldn't be at the airport, but most of them are. So what are you gonna do?
Gonna arrest them, man, for trying to fly out of there. Like, we need to get the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere. Everywhere's shut down.
I know.
You can't. I think one of my favorite places is Cane's, and we used to be able to go inside. Now it's only drive-through. You know, but what I like is like everybody's wearing masks now over here and everybody's wearing gloves. But like I hand the person my credit card, you know, and then she has the gloves that she just used with like the person before.
Yeah.
You know, that they handed her the credit card or money, you know, and then she hands it to me. So it's kind of like everyone, and it's all on the gloves, and now they're transferring it back to me.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want it.
So they should, if they're really going to go ham over this, they need to be, you know, changing out everything every time, disinfecting everything.
They
you know,
right? And I mean, it's
you know what I mean? You're gonna go full board and do it, but
yeah,
that's just me. I digress about that stuff. You know,
I know, I hear you, buddy. It's tough. I mean, how do you stay away from it?
Yeah, no, it's nuts. You know, it's nuts. Let's see what other people are saying here. We got none of the Midwest races are canceled. We wear pants here in the Midwest.
Oh, Jesus.
Love it, Cameron. I love it. Yeah, I saw. Well, so far, I don't know if the Midwest races, they're all under. It's still cold there, I kind of think, because he just said right here, coming to the Midwest National Series with the TBRL. I'm going to try and make it out to one of the TBRL races. I know they had one last year for fifth scale. So I'm going to try and make it, but I don't even know what. Everything's up in the air right now, Cameron, with just everything, even mod right now. Just a lot of stuff. Like, we'll be okay, but you know, luckily I don't have a ton of overhead and everything like that. But stuff needs to get back on track really, really soon, because like I said, if it's like this, we're not having events for like the next foreseeable like 6 months or something like that, then yeah, I'm gonna have to be getting a normal job just to pay for this place to keep it going on. It won't be pretty, you know. But I think the entire economy will collapse before I collapse. So I'm not really too worried about that, because I think people are going to start to just, you know, we're going out, we got to work and got to get stuff done. Yeah, it can only go on for so long before you tie people's hands and they're like, you know what, it's an invisible string around us right now. We're gonna go. You know, everybody's being really cool about it right now, but I think they'll end up changing their tune. You know, once if they keep pushing this out, if they keep pushing us, I think it'll implode on itself.
I totally agree with you. I mean, right now everybody's doing what they should do, which is, you know, stay at home, try to keep everybody safe, you know, flatten the curve like they keep saying. But I mean, when they start talking about December, there's no way society's going to stay home till December. It ain't going to happen.
It just won't happen. It won't happen. People can't do that anymore.
No, they need to come up with a better solution. Yeah.
I can see the social distancing thing, and everything like that, but you got to get people back to work. You know, cleaning and social distancing and do that thing, but you got to get people back to work. You have to start the economy again. Yeah. You know, it can't be shut down. It's not a capitalistic society. Is not, and no society is prepared for this. No. You know, shut down like this, because you know, I would like to say, my buddy said, if you could just end up stopping, you know, like the day of April 5th stops, and it's April 5th until this ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, everything, like it's just, this day stops. Don't have to, like, none of your bills have to be paid, like everything. And then when the reset, and then it all go when April 6th comes along, and then at the end of that month, then you pay off your rent, you pay your mortgage, you pay everything. Like, it's because the thing is like the clock still turns for having to pay for things. Like, that does not stop.
That's right.
You know? It doesn't stop. And people like this whole essential and non-essential thing. It's essential to pay our bills.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So it's just nuts. So we have Berg on here.
Burger.
And his what is this, a unicorn suit? He needs a new profile picture.
What is that, Burger? What are you doing?
He's got a unicorn suit, and I know that he's heterosexual, so it's kind of a weird profile picture, I would have to say, for the Berg. I think he needs a new one. I think that's time to change that one up, my guy.
Yeah.
So they said a month ago I could have visited you for under 200 Canadian, which is like $5 US.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, these days, your guys' dollar is in the toilet right now.
Dude, our dollar's not worth nothing. Nothing.
You guys are going to be Venezuela soon, where you see like the money I think that's Venezuela, like in the streets.
Yeah.
Like it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Pull their nose in.
Yeah. You're going to have to melt down the loonies and toonies and just give it to the scrapyard. You know, it's not going to be worth nothing. You could use it as Monopoly money in the game Monopoly.
Hey, at least we could throw our money in the wash machine.
That's true. Just not in the dryer, though.
That's
Don't
true.
Don't put it in the dryer.
You melt it.
It'll shrivel up. It's like one of those. What's one of those little toys where you put it in the water and it grows? You know?
They used to have them little seahorse things when I was a kid.
Exactly. You throw it in the water and they grow. Yours will throw it in the dryer and it just shrinks.
Yeah.
So it's nuts. Let's see. Is anybody saying anything out here, posting up? Jordan Miles missed out on cheap flights for stock gnats. Jordan, I haven't heard anything from OCRC yet, if that's the stock gnats that you're talking about, but
it is.
It is. So
yeah, Jordan's the young lad I was going to take down to stock gnats with me.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's as far as everything, I think I don't even know if stock gnats is going to go on. I could be wrong.
It's not.
I could be very wrong, but as far as the government's concerned, they haven't lifted any sanctions for the stay-at-home order, and that lasts to the 31st.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's going to be a stock gnats. I could be wrong, but I know they might have a severely depleted racer crew there.
Yeah.
If so, as well as, there might be somebody that snitches and gets the whole place shut down, so, and then a lawsuit and everything else. I don't think anybody wants that.
Yeah. And Jordan and I can't get across the border right now anyway. So
they've shut you guys down then. What's going on with the border?
Essential workers. So truck drivers, doctors, nurses going back and forth between Windsor and Michigan. I guess we have our nurses going to help you guys out. And that's it.
Wow. So only essential stuff.
Yeah.
Is able. Are they letting Americans in right now, or are they shut down Americans?
No.
So no Americans, even essential?
No, just like if you're an American truck driver bringing goods back and forth or whatever, you're allowed to cross, but that's it.
Yeah. So no travel from like normal citizens, to go see family or anything like that.
Nope. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So let me see what Berg said about his unicorn onesie. He's rocking an Auto X event, and he's got a smiley face. He's proud of the unicorn.
He's actually wearing it? Is he serious?
Yeah, he like wears that thing. That's real life.
No, he's posing.
Let me see what he got. Ben here. Let's hear if you have anything for me in the world for Yokomo buggies. Yeah, so Yokomo buggies, we got this kit right here, the 18840. You get it on modspeedshop.com. It has 2 sets of bones in there. You want to do any sort of adjustments, super lightweight drivetrain, puck drivetrain system, reduces the rotational mass by like 40%. So Billy runs all that good stuff. And then, we'll be hopefully doing some more stuff for Yokomo in the future. It's just, with Mod having to basically fund everything, I don't have Eustace deep pockets, so I gotta be smart with where I'm putting my money and make sure that it comes back. That's for sure.
Yeah. What was the minimum orders that you used to work with, Matt? Is that changed or is that still the same?
What's that? Say that again.
What was the minimum orders that you needed? Is that changed or is that still the same as when you were with MIP?
It's still the same. It's still the same for the minimum orders. That hasn't changed. I'm more than anything when this whole relationship kind of started and everything. Eustace is working real close with me and kind of mentoring me on a lot of stuff. Yeah. And so he's able to help me out and stuff like that. But no, it's still a lot of money. It's anywhere from 5 to 10 grand, to do a project. And that when you have a lot of 5 to 10 grand projects sitting, and you have to pay those in 30 days, it gets into some serious coin. And then you have all your operating expenses and everything else. And, and it's a lot, it's just a lot. So right now I've been investing in the fifth scale market because I really have my finger on the pulse with it. I've been racing with them. I've got pop-up shops. Carl Woosley, I think he's on here. He's one of my pop-up shops. I have another one at Fear Farm. I'll be starting one in Canada really soon for the fifth scale community to kind of like, basically they have everything there for them. That's been good. And I have more projects that's going to be coming out for them. So it's almost like I'm a big fish in a little pond, so it's been good. And then, I'll be coming back to 10 scale. I want to get out there and I want to start racing again. It was very successful when I was doing it with MIP. But I had everything behind me. I had, engineers, I had, packaging people, I had people that pick all the orders for me. I had all that behind me. All I had to do was book the flight, keep my cars running, go and talk to the shops, go there, come back, and do it all over again. Now I'm having to do all that stuff, in the background as well as try and, compete and do everything and, and manage everything. And it's just really difficult, to be able to handle all of that to begin with. But I have my buddy Jason here. He's been helping me out. I'll be bringing him on, and helping out with mod and kind of doing everything. So he'll kind of be my right-hand man to kind of take care of some stuff. So when I go and leave, orders are still being fulfilled. Stuff is being packed, things are being managed. Inventory is being managed. Stuff's getting ordered, so that'll be a huge help for when I do need to get out there and be out there with the community, so I look forward to it. I do miss 10 scale. I haven't liked I'm seeing like foam break-in stands now, I'm seeing like all sorts of stuff where I'm like tire heaters now, which was not part of anything that I was ever doing with it, so what's kind of changing in the 10 scale world right now that I may have missed, with what's going on for all this tire prep and stuff?
It's the ongoing tire war, really. It hasn't changed. It's just more in depth now. Breaking in inserts and then breaking in the tire rather than breaking in the tire in the insert like we used to do. It's like a two-stage process now. It's just another something else to do.
Oh, geez. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's racing,
Like tires.
It is what it is at the end of the day. It's always a tire game, seemingly.
Yeah. I personally am a huge fan of big events. Spec the tire.
Yeah, I think you're right, as far as that. But there's always going to be, even at big events, you see different things.
Yeah.
You always do.
Yeah.
And it's just how it is. Yeah. Everybody, guys that know, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back racing. I'm going to be getting probably this 22 X4, going. I'm really liking how that car is looking. So I might make that my new 4-wheel drive rig. Even 2-wheel drive. I've been looking hard at the Losi. It's looking good. If not, I might get that new B6 .2, getting that going for, running with the Associated guys. We got a couple drivetrain systems we want to do for those. So really going to be focusing on the drive lines and some other, milled goodies that I want to start doing for them. I think it's really going to help the community. But yeah, be focusing on the puck systems and getting that going again. How have you seen 13.5 4-wheel? You think it's still a viable class out there, or still 2-wheel drive?
I don't know. 4-wheel drive is kind of hit and miss everywhere you seem to go, especially 13.5 4-wheel drive. Doesn't seem to be catching on as hot as 2-wheel drive did, for sure. But, I mean, time will tell.
I think so. I think with the new resurgence of all these four-wheel drives that are coming out, it might spark the class again.
Yeah, I think the new Losi coming out, I think, is going to bring a lot of people back to the class for sure.
I think so for sure. Yeah, it looks like a really good car, and Associated and TLR seem to be the main ones here in the States. Most definitely with Yokomo, I think, being third tier. But they're making a huge push with their team effort. Their team is going good. I know Joe Pillars is putting in huge work into that.
Yeah,
And
good job with the team, actually.
Yeah, so that's really good to see. So definitely see them. It seems like Kyosho has been kind of dropping off, a bit.
Yeah, is there anything
If
coming
I'm
up
honest,
with these guys, or like, what's going on with Kyosho?
Zach Rogers was the latest team manager there.
Yeah, but Zach's left now too, huh?
He was doing a really good job with them and kind of pushing for it, after Pillars left, and I think he was doing a good job with it. But I don't know if they were more so not really, wanting to fund, stuff to kind of get stuff back to, where TLR and Associated is, and now where Yokomo's coming up. I just don't know if I don't know. I could be wrong, but just looking in from the outside, I think Zach was doing a really good job with them, but he went on to Brighter Futures and everything. And since then, I don't know who they really have, as far as team manager, who's pushing. I know they have CJ Jellin, that's trying to hold them up a lot, with here in the States. But other than that, I don't know who their main driver is.
Yeah, other than CJ, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. So,
but I do know the guys, like, they're asking about that too. The puck systems for the TLR, the new four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've been asking for it.
Yeah.
No, I think it'll be good. We'll be doing it really soon. Like I said, I'll be getting in that project, and it'll come right after the B74 one. And I think that's going to spark a lot of people with the drivetrain. We're going to be coming out with that, so I think it's going to be really cool. And we have what's going on, Sean? Carl, like the spec tire idea, maybe for 1/5 scale. No, Carl, because there's like 3 tires out there, so it's not.
I was going to say, how many tires you guys
companies got? And there's like one compound, and there's like 2 tread patterns. That's fine. So yeah, in 5th scale, I actually like 5th scale because it's almost like a spec tire as it is, because there's 2 companies and there's like 4 or 5 different tire, like that's it, and like 1 compound. And you don't heat them up, you don't sauce them, you don't grind them down. They don't even glue together. You bolt them together. They're amazing. It's 5th scale is where you can run them multiple times. It's where it's at for as far as the tire game is like non-existent. Either it works or it doesn't work, and you go to a different tread pattern. Realistically,
yeah,
like there's no 4 different compounds. There's no having, because you have Pro Line, J Concepts, Raw Speed, Sweep, hot race tires, Beta. I don't know who else. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a ton.
There's James Tires.
Yeah.
AKA.
It just goes on and on and on.
They
all got like 12 compounds.
There's 12 compounds. There's 7 different, tire tread patterns. I don't know.
It's too much. Looking back after this whole COVID thing, the RC industry is going to take a bit of a shit kicking, to be quite frank. And we're going to have to look for ways to make it cheaper for the racers.
No, yeah, as far as I think the economy's gonna come back, obviously, a bit, but I'm gonna grab myself a Dr. Pepper. I need something to drink.
Still drinking that, are you?
My favorite. Yeah, the whole economy needs to come back. I think there's plenty of people that they're gonna be out of work, man. Everybody's out of work right now. I do know that, people are starting to get their rigs going again. The money that they do have, they're pre-prepping their stuff. They're like, I'm ready to get back to the track. I'm never going to complain about tire. I think I saw Nick Watlett comments. He's like, I'm never going to complain about tire prepping or anything ever again. I just want to go racing. You know, and in a way, I agree with them. Like, it's, you know, fifth scale family that I have, you know, I'm jonesing to go. Like, I need to get back out there. And kind of when somebody says you can't do something, you want to do it that much more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But then it comes in where you can be arrested and you're like, I don't want to do it that much.
But almost. Yeah, no,
give us enough time and I'll take that risk, you know. Give us enough time.
To get back to the track. I really am. I mean, we're having a lot of fun at here in Ottawa, you know, right up until this happened. Some good young talent coming up too, Matt. Some good fast kids coming up.
Good. Well, we'll be, you know, you'll be looking at that and seeing what's going on. But yeah, with the sponsorship these days, you know, it's, you know, I look at it how I would say old school, how when I first started, how they look at sponsorships, where, you know, these guys need to be basically, you know, helping out the tracks, helping out the fellow racers. You know, they're good people on and off the track. You know, they're fast, they're getting trophies, you know, they're in the community, they're knowledgeable. You know, a lot of times these days with sponsorships of what's going on, because like I said, when I was counting with my fingers, you know, there's 10 companies out there all vying for, you know, a very small piece of the pie, basically. Yeah. And racing is an even smaller piece of the pie in the grand scheme of RC, you know, so deals are going around. It cuts out the hobby shops. Hobby shops can't make money. No money for the hobby shops, which have tracks, you know, and it's a domino effect of not having tracks around, you know, because all this stuff, it just, you know, it goes by the wayside. So you have to have, and then when there's not anything going on and they can't support manufacturers can't create cool products. And then, you know, there's no innovation to have stuff at the tracks, you know, so it's a full on, you know, cannibalizing effect that happens, you know, so you do need just, I would say, a select few people that move the needle for the company. Because at the end of the day, when somebody sponsors you or something like that, either it be percentage off or free stuff, every dollar that is, you're paying them basically to run that product. You're paying them for that sticker on the side. You're paying them to basically be a good representative, you know, for the product and be moving that needle. So I know that's what you look for, you know, but for other people out there, yeah, you know, that's what it has to be, because things cannot just be, in my opinion, handed out. Because it just doesn't do a difference. It's almost like they feel like they're entitled sometimes, you know. And I think when people really look at the dynamics and what takes it to keep these lights on, and I'm small potatoes, like I'm very small comparatively to MIP and to Proline and TLR and Horizon, and think about all that they have with multiple employees and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of R&D and testing and getting stuff going again. You know, it's a whole different idea when you write that check at the end of the day for $10,000 and everybody's like, oh, can I get that for free? It's like, dude, you know how much money it took just to have this, and then X amount of dollars of that, you know, and then you still have to eat at the end of the day. Yeah, it's nuts. So, you know, that's right. When you guys go to modspeedshop.com, get some shit, because then I can eat tonight.
And we're still shipping to Canada.
We're still shipping everywhere. Right. We got MIP stuff as well. We got fifth scale stuff. You know, make sure to get something, you know, because it definitely helps out and keeps us going. Even this little thing with the scroll bar, you know, this little program that I have, this thing's costing me like $25 a month just to have all this little mod live talks at the top. I created that in about an hour with my artistic skills. You know, it took forever. The Canadian leaf took me about 2 seconds. You know, at Billy's side, that was Google. That wasn't me. But that top left there, I had Illustrator. You know, a couple tutorials. Figured it out. I got it quite dialed in. So we have Cameron Martin here. Sponsorships have no meaning anymore. Yes and no.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Matt.
Yes and no, Cameron. I agree with you for where it's at right now in some ways, but in others, I think there's still good guys out there that do. I think you have to sift through it a little bit
Yeah.
of who does actually move the needle.
Yeah. I mean, there is guys out there that are, unfortunately, they'll pick up a sponsorship and they're just, they're looking for a deal. And really and truly, if you're looking for a deal, it's not the right reason to be looking for a sponsorship.
Yeah. Winning big races with no sponsorship against privileged drivers that expect sponsorship is glorious. I like that one. I like that one.
I get a lot of questions from guys about sponsorships. Well, I mean, before COVID happened, pretty much on a daily basis. Everybody was asking about it. And I mean,
it's nuts, and I have some of that within even the fifth scale community. In fifth scale, we're such a small community that I would say, and a lot of them are hobbyists. So it's not as prevalent, but even so, you do have some guys that that are looking for it or something like that. And in a way, you're able to help people out here and there. But, at the grand scheme of things, I have a handful of guys that I help with mod stuff. But all those guys, they move the needle. They move the needle for mod on what it is, and it's granted then. And they're good people and everything like that make it happen. But other than that, and that, especially, these days, as far as the racing's concerned, I think Jason Rona had said something, if I can beat you, I don't need you. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's one of those things where, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'm probably one of the faster racers that are out there within the fifth scale community. So it's, I'm able to kind of keep up the rep, as well as fund it and everything like that. So it's kind of a special dynamic. But yeah, a lot of these things going on in 10 scale and 8 scale, they do need paid drivers that can put out their stuff, make it look good. And that's why you have the Dakota Fens, the Cavaliers, the Mayfields, the Ty Tessmans, and those guys that do it for a living. And those guys have so much talent, put in so much time and everything. And I understand why, what's going on, because their program is unreal. But we're kind of talking about guys at a local level, making the needle move for the company and everything like that. And those are usually the louder voices that are out there, I would say.
Yeah.
So not ones that are just, seventh in the D main and they're cussing every time and throwing their radio.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, when we pick guys now for mod up here, it's very, very limited what we got. We got Damien, who's been, with us for a long time. Damien Lammy, Eric Deshane.
Yep.
Those two are great guys. We got the young lad, Jordan Miles, coming up. We've sponsored him. But that's about it.
Yeah. So, and a close, tight-knit crew is good, It's a really good thing. And then working with the hobby shops, can't stress it enough with hobby shops and stuff like that, support your local shop, that's helping you guys out and that's sponsoring and, and helping the racers and the track, support them, especially during this whole, COVID thing, especially the hobby shops that have tracks, be sure to hit them up, and grab product and stuff like that, because they're the ones that are, they have a huge, I know Travis Brock had posted something the other day, about talking about SDRC's rent is $12,000 a month.
Ooh.
12 grand. And that's before you pay anybody. That's before you do anything. That's all profit money's gone. Burn. You take a match to it, you light it on fire.
Get out the window.
For you existing for 30 days.
Yeah.
That's the price to exist for 30 days is 12 grand.
Wow.
So you think about that kind of overhead, and how many months of 12 grand months plus the expenses, maybe what, 3 grand, 4 grand for yourself, to keep you afloat and current situation, eating bills, everything like that, so $16,000 negative every single month that this whole thing is going on, so support your local tracks, and support them. Same thing, Mod. We support the tracks and everything like that. We got pop-up shops and everything, hobby shops there on site, and we really support them and everything like that, and keep everybody going. So it's it's huge to support those guys during this time, because they're the ones that trying to keep this hobby alive, for us racers.
Yeah, they're struggling, and we really want them there when we get back to it. So, got to do everything we can.
Yeah, it's a most definite. So, yeah, buddy. So I think we've kind of gone through everything. I miss you, man.
I know, man. It's been way too long.
It's been a hot second.
Yeah.
It's been a hot second. Let me see here. Anybody have any questions for Billy here? I know we've almost been on for an hour now. Time flies when you're talking to, old friends.
I know, right?
I know. But yeah, man, I don't know where this whole thing is going to go. I'm optimistic. That's the only thing I can be right now.
Yeah.
But it's I'm optimistic, but everybody's asking me, hey, when's stuff going? Is it being postponed, and when's the next race? And I'm like,
who knows? Yeah.
I've got zero clue when the next race is going to be. I was basically, even me going out somewhere, when I was going out to my buddies at Fear Farm and saying I was going out to run my car, social distancing myself, I was being like crucified, for going out there. People were like, this isn't the time to be up there next to other people. So it's it's one of those things. So I don't post anything. I don't even post nothing. I think I had a screenshot of Bubble Boy. I think Bubble Boy suits, for RC car racers.
Yeah.
I think that'll take effect. You can go up there.
Well, you were going to see your mom anyway, right?
I was going to see my mom anyways. I just stopped off and I ripped my car for a little bit.
Yeah. So that's fine.
It was essential. It was essential for me to get out there and burn some gas, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I saw my mom's. My mom's is out in Tucson. I think I'm going to make another trip to go and see her later on this month. Help her out a bit. So it'll be good. But yeah, man.
You okay?
No, she's fine. Everything's fine. She has a rental property out there.
Yeah.
Her and my dad do. My dad's here, and but I've been I'm a social butterfly, man. I got to be going somewhere. I got to be doing something. I don't like to stay in one place for very long. I never have. Like my entire life, ever since you've known me, I've been on the road like every 2 weeks, going somewhere, prepping for something. I got to be doing something.
We used to be hitting a race in the States or here like every couple months.
Yeah, we were on the circuit. We had Rudy going. We had Justin.
Where's he doing?
So Rudy got in a really bad car accident, drag racing.
That's right. You told me about that. Yeah.
Drag racing, in his car is at the drag strip and everything, and a bolt came out of his brake pedal, and he lost all brakes at like 160 miles an hour. And then it hit the catch net and like tumbled the car like 5 times. He got a big piece of metal came up, cut his eye right here, messed up his fingers. Like he looked, he's all like, yeah, his whole fingers were messed up too. So Rudy was out, but Rudy's starting to do, he's got schooling and everything like that for being a firefighter, I think. So he's got an in with it. He's going to be getting kind of his life started, but he'll be doing more. He'll be doing some events here and there. That guy's got so much natural talent; it's unreal. So yeah, he'll be back out again. We'll be having fun, but until that time, he's doing his thing. But I know him as well. He was doing stuff and working, and he's been laid off. A lot of people have been laid off during this time. So it's yeah, it's really unfortunate, of what's happening. So let's see. Cameron had a question for you, Billy.
Canadian Nationals in August. If you're referring to the international one, it was at the end of July, and no, that one's been canceled. The on-road Canadian Nationals, I think they just postponed it, and I don't know if they've released a date yet. Maybe if Ben Tradbergs is back online, Benny would probably know more about that than I would, or Jordan.
Gotcha. So thank you, Cameron, for the question. We got Randall Morrow. He's one of the fifth scale owners out at Fear Farm RC Raceway. Outlaw Series coming soon. I like the Outlaw Series. I wonder what that is. I wonder what the Outlaw Series is during this Corona thing. I don't know. I think it's a play on words that Randall might be spitting towards us.
I see what's going on.
Might be spitting some little hints there of his Outlaw Series. Let's see.
No date has been posted for on-road yet, I don't think. So yeah, the Canadian On-Road Nationals, they haven't released a date yet for it. I suspect, in all likelihood, it probably won't be till next year, unfortunately, but we'll have to wait and see.
I gotcha. So that's
too bad, because those guys worked their cans off for that race too. Man, they had like over 600 entries this year.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Maybe I should quit fifth scale on road time.
I told you that 3 years ago, dude.
I love fifth scale, though. I love my fifth scale. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get, well, you know what? I was slated to go to at least 1 or 2 Canadian races this year for fifth scale. I don't even know if those are going to happen. They have their nationals up there I go to every year, and I don't know if even that's going to happen.
It's usually in August, isn't it?
One in August, and then there's these guys out of Blackfoot that's out in Calgary, and and they have a race, and it's they have a good little crew over there at Blackfoot RC, and they're on a motocross track that kind of like overlooks the city. It's pretty cool. So that's a cool track. So they're up in Calgary, up above Washington or something like that.
So you guys are racing on a motocross track?
Obviously. Well, motocross track facility.
Okay.
It used to be like a landfill, and then they put dirt there to cover it all up, and now it's a motocross track. And they can't do anything with it because it is a landfill, so they can't build anything there. But so they have like prime real estate in the middle of the city, in Calgary, and I guess Calgary is a pretty rich town. Yeah. They're like supporting like the Ottawa side. That's what I'm hearing from those guys. Is they're like all those guys in that other province where Trudeau is, and they're taking all of our money. So there's like 2 different factions that are going on in Canada.
There is. Well, I mean, as soon as you go west of Ottawa, it's basically a very conservative country. Yeah. As soon as you go Ottawa east, it's very liberal. Yeah.
It's all the Frenchies, man. It's all the French Canadians, man.
I don't know. I don't think they actually Trudeau actually didn't get very many votes out of Quebec either this time.
How did he get in, by the way?
I have no idea. No clue. No idea.
Rigged.
Yeah, it was rigged.
It was rigged.
It was the Russians.
They were successful this time.
Yeah.
They got him into it. Let's see. Randall, Under the Cover of Darkness. Oh, man. So that was in reply to the Outlaw series. Under the Cover of Darkness. Ooh. You're gonna end up getting like the cops called on us, Randall. Yeah. But I'm okay with that. I have the Sprinter van now, and I'll go inside that thing and I'll just boogie out of there. Jordan Miles, 647. Wow.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That is crazy. That's like Nitro Challenge entries right there. That's more than Nitro Challenge.
Little props to Jordan Miles. Have you seen those body shells I've had painted up lately?
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah, that's the guy that's painting them, Jordan Miles.
He's got skills, man. I can paint white. Like that's That's where my skills go.
Yeah.
White.
But if anybody out there is looking for a body, hit up Jordan.
Yeah, hit up Jordan, especially if you're in Canada, because I know shipping is ass over here for all that stuff. So I wouldn't recommend that, but any of the Canadian boys, hit up Jordan Miles, because I know shipping stuff up to Canada is a pain.
It is.
That's why we ship to your special address.
Yep.
And then it gets smuggled in. Let me see. KT Money, I don't know what that is, has a 50cc track that could take one fifth scale, I'm sure.
That's what I was thinking when you mentioned motocross.
Yeah.
If you remember Kevin or not, I introduced him to him at Motorama a bunch of years back.
Okay.
He was like the Team Yamaha team manager at the time. He's got a big motocross track here in Ottawa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know there's some fifth scale guys out there by you. I'm just not positive exactly where. But yeah, I miss it. I went to the fifth scale ice race that was up there in St. Paul. That was super fun with spiked tires. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some really good years, some really, really good years. And I want to get back to that for sure. Let me see. Randall saying here, travel light. See, he's saying so I can boogie out of there real quick. I can get the heck out of Dodge. I love it.
Somebody's going to jail.
Hey man, if I go, I'll be. So what are you in here for? You know, just playing with toy cars. It's.
You're not gonna laugh.
You know what? I saw they arrested a dude for surfing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they arrested some girl in Quebec twice in 2 days because she got COVID-19 confirmed. So she's supposed to go on her stay-at-home self-isolation thing, right? So she goes out the next day. So the neighbor calls the cops. The cops show up. They arrest her. And then, she comes back home, goes back out the next day. Cops show up and arrest her again. Yeah, she got arrested twice.
Jeez, I can understand if they're already, they know they're like symptomatic. They've already got it. They're going around and everything like that. I could see what's going on with that. But a dude that's doing his own thing out surfing, that's pretty raw. And then what else there was? And he didn't have it. And then there was another dad, and the dad got arrested because he was playing t-ball with his kid and the whole family at like the park or something.
What's the rule on that? I know up here, if you're like out with the people that you live with, you're okay.
Yeah, you know what? I don't really know, as far as the total rules on that. I just pretty much the thing is like no gathering over 10 people. And I think there's like, I don't think I think if there's like a main gathering or something like that, they'll get you on it, but you need someone to snitch on you, for that to even occur. Like you're having an outdoor party or something like that. And you have a bunch of people over, you're probably some Carol Baskin's going to, snitch on you.
Yeah.
Have you seen Tiger King yet?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
You gotta watch Tiger King. Then you'll understand the whole, because you've probably been seeing the memes out there.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them.
You'll end up understanding Carol Baskin.
Okay.
It'll all make sense when you rewatch this video later on.
Is it like Nancy Pelosi?
Around the same type of thing going. Love it. So let's see what else people are asking us here. Jordan Miles, I painted your body extra light so you have no excuses when I pass you now. So he says he's giving you the extra, the extra fastness, keeping that body shell light for you.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Matt, so opinion on the single versus dual steering servo. My best bud, Brandon Wynn, is going to run a single high-tech 14-volt, and I'm going to run dual 845s with electric conversion. All right, for that, Cameron, it's a double-edged sword. So I would definitely say that the big high-tech the expensive one, which is probably about, man, it's going to be double of what you pay for your 845s. It probably has the most strength for sure. And I would say that the reliability on the high-tech is pretty good, except for as the case starts to wear, then you need the mod that I do, but that's going to be possibly 6 months or a year down the line. But it's going to have more strength and more holding power than most likely your dual servos. Also, the 845s, the 845s are really good. I have seen one or two, I've seen a couple of them go out before, no doubt about it. High-tech is really good with their customer service, probably one of the best in the industry. So they'll take care of you. I'd say definitely have 2 high-techs on hand, 845s on hand with you to replace stuff. As well as if one high-tech goes out and it's still everything's attached, then it could take the other one out at the same time. So you have to have both working. Make sure that you phase them correctly. You have them phased correctly when you're mixing them, and keep extra servos on hand. But I would also say to your buddy, keep an extra big high-tech on hand. I'm a huge advocate of having spares, because in fifth scale, you never know when something's going to go wrong, especially if you take a really, really bad hit, you have a runaway, or something happens, that thing goes straight into a wall or something like that, or endo's really bad. All that force with the wheels and everything, it goes to the weakest spot, and little servo gears and motors and everything like that versus 40 pounds, and the outcome. So, yep. So that's basically, hopefully I can help you out with that a little bit. If you need that stuff, I do have all that in stock as well. So hit me up. I've got the high-techs all in stock, and those D845s on the ready. Let's see. We'll all wear our mod hoodies and scatter. Well, luckily I don't have mod hoodies, Randall. So the joke is on you. On you. I don't have hoodies. I got shirts though. So if you guys wear my shirts or my hats, then you could say that won't be. Oh, so that's not my fault that you're wearing my apparel. But then we'll all look the same. We'll be like, little clones going around and scatter. Nobody will know where anybody's at. All my family come stay with us at Fear Farm. Doors are open. Ooh. So Randall is saying it to come on out and race, or come on out and enjoy the fresh air. It's actually pretty good though. Like this whole thing that's going around right now, like it's good to be in the open air.
Yeah.
I'm more like, I would think you'd be more susceptible like in supermarkets and everything like that, where it's all enclosed and you're breathing the same air. Nothing's moving around. Now they have, like before, like everybody was standing like within 6 feet of each other, and there was like lines like 2 miles long and shit. And like how, you're in it for like a Disneyland line. Like, okay, you guys are going through all this, and now you're subjecting me to this.
You guys don't have curbside pickup yet for your groceries?
We got like Instacart and everything like that, but like I'm cheap and I don't like to know what I'm buying, and usually it's like Skittles, Dr. Pepper, and cinnamon twist or something like that. So it's I eat out a lot too. That's probably one flaws that I have is I can't cook worth the crap. Like I can read a box and like Hamburger Helper, and I can type it into the microwave, So I need to find myself a wife that cooks, because I'll starve. I'll be skinnier than I am right now is basically what happens. Because once I have a wife and kids, then I won't have as much money to go out and do what I want to, like go and buy stuff. So there's trade-offs.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's Matt for asking for all the viewers. No problem, Cameron. Thank you for the comment. Let's see here. Yeah, it's crazy times, man. But so what event around you has not been canceled yet?
I think everything's canceled.
For like the year?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
They canceled hockey. It's Canada, dude. Nothing's gonna happen now.
They canceled hockey. I got friends out in Calgary. You know, you go down. He's got like a tri-level.
Yeah.
And you go down to his basement there, and he's got like a man cave, and he's got like mannequins in there with full on hockey get up. Like, it's actually pretty dialed down there. But he's got all sorts of memorabilia and everything, and full TV, you know, with a bar right there, and it's pretty nice. And I was like, man, you guys are serious about your hockey. Like, the mannequins holding a hockey stick and shit. Like, it's pretty gnarly. I'm like, Canadians are about their hockey.
Yep.
You know, so it's it's nuts. But I hope to make it out there soon to Canada. I had at least 2 trips kind of planned. Luckily, I didn't buy my tickets yet because nobody knows what's really going on.
Well, apparently the U.S. airlines are offering full refunds. Canadian Airlines, go figure, they're offering a voucher for 2 years from now or something stupid like that. Go figure. But hey, we're going to go up to the lodge this summer.
I know, we were talking about it because we were going to do the Canadian Nats and go to the lodge that you have. And how's that doing, by the way?
Dead. Yeah, I was talking to Bill Poulin about it last week, and yeah, it's not looking good.
So for those people know out there, what do you have, Billy, that you guys offer for your fish camp that you got?
Well, it's Bill Poulin is the guy that you want to talk to about it. He's a buddy of mine. It's Nagagami Lake Lodge up in northern Ontario. 6 log cabins. It's gorgeous up there. There's actually a video of a walkthrough that I did last summer on it on my Facebook page. And you got to fly in. There's no roads. There's no way in. It's just wild wilderness. The fishing's fantastic up there. The Poulin family does a great job and making sure that all your needs are met when you're up there. There's big lodge, pool table, full electricity, wash machine, showers, you name it, it's all up there. It's awesome. If you ever get a chance to go, you gotta go. So yeah.
I definitely want to make it up. Kind of reminds me of when I went to Alaska, and I went salmon fishing, and I stayed up at the Neppers, and they had Nepper fish camp, and stay up there and they feed you. You stay in their house and what have you. Then you go out to different areas and fish, and but we had a car and everything like that. But that sounds like a dream to go up there and kind of be out there with nature. So that's really cool. So we had some more things here. We have Carl Woosley. Even with curbside pickup, you could get cross contamination. Yeah, that's spray all your stuff with Lysol or something. I don't know.
You can get it from anywhere.
You can get it from anything.
I just think about the curbside pickup is it beats the hell out of going into the grocery store with 100 people and
that's true.
Coughing and hacking on you.
Just to beat it. I understand that.
Yeah. Most
definitely. Let me see. Jordan Miles, play hockey with RC cars.
I'm in.
Time to get our 3D people out there and 3D print a little shovel on the front of RC cars and drop the ride height to nothing. Yeah. Or just have on-road cars with spikes.
Yeah.
That'd be sick, actually. That'd be really cool. So we got Ben. I will butcher your last name, so I'm not going to say it. Okay, let's hear more about fifth scale stuff. What are the most have or go-to upgrades to run fifth scale reliably? So yeah, Carl Woosley just mentioned mod rear diff inserts. Those are I don't have any up here with me right now, but those help with making sure your rear diff doesn't move around because it the stock one, your pinion gear mesh and your sun gear, they end up moving in there in the stock case. So that's huge because you can basically blow $90 worth of rear end drivetrain parts, bearings, everything when you blow out that gear. So that helps, as well as those rear diff inserts. They have a bigger bearing in them, so you have about a year's worth of time on a set of bearings in the rear, which is huge. Usually with the little flange bearings, they end up wearing out and breaking at the change your whole oil when you do it, because you have to replace the other one. It's just a pain. And then they're also cut so you can put boots on them, so that's huge. Shocks are really nice. It's not a super needed for durability, but it helps with handling, as well as you kind of could say durability, because of the fact that it puts less wear and tear on the rest of your car, because it handles better, lands better, jumps better. You feel more connected to your car. We've got the clutches. Those are really nice because they probably last 10 to 20 times longer than a stock clutch, as well as they have more linear power. They're half the weight. It ends up helping you out tremendously for performance, and they're fully rebuildable. So it's about $55-$60 for a normal clutch, and you have to throw them away when you're done with them. With ours, you end up rebuilding it for $60, and they last way longer with way better characteristics. So, and then we have the new pinions as well. So the Everlast pinion gears. So we had a little bit of a complication with these to begin with. The heat treating wasn't quite right, but we were able to fix that. And now we've had no problems with them. They've lasted a ton of time. And I haven't seen one wear out yet. So I might have shot myself in the foot because the gears last too long. So I only sell one of them.
Stupid.
I know, stupid. Other stock pinions, I'd be selling those things all the time because they'd wear out, and it's like 20. But these people buy these for like $28, and I'm like, I never see them again because they're not wearing them out. So maybe they'll wear out eventually. I don't know. But these new Everlast pinions, I guess I called them Everlast pinions. They are really good. So grab those. My buddy Jason just packaged up a whole bunch more of them. So for how many that I did, there's at least that many fifth scales out there. So everyone should probably have a pinion gear. And then let's see. Get 1/8 scale nitro buggy and be a man. Oh man, Sam Taylor. Yeah, Sam. I'm doing some 8 scale racing as well. I'm running one of the AE cars, the RC8. And car's been awesome. It's been really, really cool. And I'll be doing more 8 scale races in the future. I was actually slated to cover the Golden State Championships at CBR. They're having it. It actually passed now. It was this past weekend. I was going to cover it live with all my live RC equipment that I have. And I've been trying to do that as well. So actually for you, Billy, that's actually some good information. We've been doing at Mod. We've had a full live RC system to basically come in with the mobile cam. I don't know if you've seen my new camera yet. This thing is sick.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
So
dope.
This is the new super camera with
Nice.
I'm gonna drop it.
Yeah, I wouldn't drop it, man.
No, it's like this is my retirement right here.
Yeah.
In my hands. So ended up going a little bit more serious with my live setup with the camera and everything else. So I've been offering that service for doing it, because what I think with RC, and I'm kind of going off on another tangent, with RC in general, and comment you guys if I'm wrong about this, but we don't have enough coverage. There's not nearly enough coverage that every other sport and hobby, like I've seen like those, what is it, those hacky sack competitions? What's with those, like throwing the sack into the hole? What the heck is that called again? Cornhole, that's it. So I've seen cornhole competitions, on TV where they're throwing a beanbag in a hole, and then I've seen drone racing and everything like that. That's like watching flies go around, lighted hoops, it's boring.
Yeah.
I can also see where RC can be that way if it's not done correctly, and not knowing it. It's kind of like playing golf versus watching golf. I like to play golf way more than I like to watch golf. So, but what I see Live RC doing, I think Live RC is doing it right. Like, they've got the multiple cameras, they have interviews, they're covering it across multiple streams. They've got, Live RC, Facebook, YouTube when they're restreaming it, and they have all this going on. But the thing is Live RC is such a big operation and everything, and with the manpower that they have, and also, it costs a lot of money to bring them out. So these big events are able to afford them, obviously. And I've worked with them for a while. Live RC is awesome, Brandon, all those guys. But I'm trying to offer something for like the smaller events, like something like, a fifth scale event. You're not going to be able to afford Live RC to come out and cover something like that. Little big 8 scale races, little big 10 scale races. Something like even the Canadian Nationals. Like doing something like that and covering it rather than a Facebook post at the end of the weekend, and nobody knows about it, or somebody's little video, but everybody's looking for, main coverage where they have a follow cam, because I've seen tracks that have, just a solid camera, and it's like watching paint dry. You go there to see who cut the track, or where you flipped, and that's about it. You're not really watching it to watch it for the racing, especially during the mains and stuff like that. It's just with that far away and everything, it's okay for qualifying and stuff like that. But when you get into the main events, I think we need full coverage that's going on at a lot of these events, and something that I think I can help, provide some of these tracks and stuff like that, and events that either I attend or they end up bringing us in to do it. And we're using all Live RCs, partnering up with them with all their tech, and talking to them all the time and everything. So it's a good relationship there, and just trying to, just spread the news more with coverage, because we've been doing that for fifth scale, and we've gotten a ton of people, coming into fifth scale for that, and made a huge investment in all the camera stuff to basically bring it to that next level, like where, basically doing a mini version of what Live RC does, but it ends up helping out everybody and the tracks, and all of them get all the information right there. So we've been offering to do that with the mod equipment and everything, and offering that service. But now with this whole COVID thing, that's kind of gone by the wayside as well.
I'll talk to the guys about the Canadian On-Road National, see if we can get you up to the filming for that.
No, most definitely. It's it basically film everything. It's going to be there. It'll be on Live RC. Like, I can definitely talk to you off screen of what it takes to do something like that. But it's pretty economical for what it's going to be, I think, and it just brings more people into it, because I think that with RC, we have to have more coverage. We have to be using Facebook to our advantage, like we're doing with these videos. Be using social media, because this kind of, reach that we can get to everybody around the world, is almost like free marketing, and it can help bring more people into our hobby, which is something that I think is needed, because the community, I think, is something that you don't see in any sort of other industry, where anybody can do it. So
it's one of the few sports too where, like, realistically, you go to any event, if the world champion is there, you can get on the track with them.
Yeah, no,
it's not like any other motorsport where that ain't happening.
No, there's no real physical disadvantage. I know, guy out in Colorado, he doesn't have any arms. He's got, well, his name, they call him Stubbs, and he's a super good dude. And he's fast. He's like wicked fast. I've seen guys.
TLR, right?
What's that?
He races for TLR. He used to race for Associated.
He does.
Yeah, I think I've raced with him a couple times.
There's also my buddy Mitch Stratford. He has one arm, and he races with one and everything, and he's super fast. So and little kids, and versus old versus young, and everything like that. And so it's a really, really special, I think hobby, and something that everybody can get into. And realistically, it's not that expensive. to do it versus other hobbies that I've seen with any sort of automobile racing. It's cheaper than everything.
Yeah.
As far as that's concerned, once you really get into it. So I think it's pretty special. We just something that we need to just give more light to of what's going on. I think that can definitely help when we have more live streaming going on for sure. So I'll definitely talk to you about that. But
yeah, for sure.
See if anybody oh snap, that camera's serious. Yeah, Ben, it was a pretty penny. It was a real pretty penny. But I had a little steady cam. It was about this big, that I was using before, a little Canon, and you have to start somewhere. So it was about that big, and I was following people with that, and the screen was yay big and something, and looking at the cars. But now I have a nice big screen on there, able to see everything. I got it on a nice tripod that's all leveled out, so made the investment in it to try and bring live coverage for our community.
I've seen some of the fifth scale stuff that you've been doing. It's good.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. And just been trying to push it and give that more live coverage. Okay, mod upgrade piston setup on the stock 5T shocks versus standard pistons with modified ports. So Cameron, no comparison. We even have TLR's project manager Chris Higa running the pistons right now. Chris is in love with them. He just won the fifth scale worlds with the buggy with the pistons on the stock shocks, and they're awesome. So basically, like, you have like the stock shocks, which are, I can't say the words on social media, but if you can do what this is at, and then the new pistons take you up to another level where you have pack. You get where you drop the car and it doesn't fall flat on its face on the ground. You have control. You're able to adjust your rebound with your valves on there, anywhere from 3,000ths valve, which is your little flapper valve where it flaps up and down. Then you have your 5,000ths, which is less rebound, 7,000ths, even more resistance, and 10,000ths valving. So you're able to change that, as well as with those pistons, you can drill them out to your specific liking. So it gives you an unlimited amount of tuning options for exactly what you want in your car, and something you cannot do with stock shocks. So you've seen the success it's had in 8 scale, where Ryan Mayfield's running them, winning. You have Adam Drake. You have all these guys in even 8 scale running these things with the same tech in there, and we've dubbed it over basically for 5th scale with all the new tech from the octagon shaped piston to now the round shaped piston that gives you way more adjustability with it, of something that we've needed within the community, and gets you more to that of shocks that you can actually tune the rebound versus compression and the oil and everything like that. And it's not even in the same league. And then if you go to the V4 shocks, which is the creme de la creme Cadillac Ferrari of shock packages, and the bodies that those shocks are like, I got a set right here. This is the complete set. It comes with, it's got all 4 bodies in there. You get 7 pairs of springs. You get the pistons. You get all the tech in there, and the stock Loxi shock fits inside our shock body. So it's just so much more volume that you can just push the car harder. It's really good. I've had guys that get the pistons, and I think the pistons are awesome if you want to stay, within that $100 mark. And then I've had guys that upgrade to the V4s where they're just that next level. So if you're really, really serious, you just go with those shocks right off the bat. Or if you're kind of dipping your toes, you get those pistons, because they're gonna totally change your world when you get those other pistons for it, and it just brings it to another level. So that's what that kind of does. Let me see. Any new 10th scale shock upgrades coming soon? So Noah, currently MIP has prototypes of the bypass pistons with those shocks, but in my humble opinion, and I think guys would agree, I'm honest with a lot of people.
Yeah.
On where the cars are at for 10 scale, where we're almost like off-road, on-road tracks, where they're super smooth, There's no real bumps. Like, it's not like the old days where you actually race on off road. You know, it's flat. And the cars are all super light now. So, in all honesty, I don't think that we have to find out a different design or something for those pistons. I think 410 scale, because the bypass in their current configuration shines. It super shines on rougher tracks with heavier vehicles. That's why it works so good in 8 scale, and that's why it works so good in 5th scale and in 10 scale short course when we used to be running that all the time, because it was a big short course truck on, and you could run them indoors and outdoors, and it was really good. But even on the short course truck, when I'd run indoors, I would run the hardest valve in there because of the fact that it just doesn't, your rebound versus compression on a really smooth track, just, you really don't need that much bypass in there. So you really feel the benefits of it with a rough track, and it's a heavier car. That's why it hasn't come out for 10 scale yet or been super popular. We're saying this is groundbreaking technology because, at least in its current configuration, cars are not heavy enough, and the tracks are not rough enough, I think, for them to really see like, oh, this is going to be something that's
game changer. Yeah.
What's that?
The big game changer.
Yeah, game changer. Because the thing is any products that Mod creates or MIP creates, because I've been, basically entwined with MIP, my entire professional career, and when we look to do products, it needs to make a difference. If it doesn't make a difference for the consumer, why are they ever going to buy it? And that's how I am as a consumer. If I look at that and I'm like, stock is just as good, and it's usually cheaper because it's made overseas and they're making tons of them, so you can't make the sort of margins and everything like that, then you have to make something that's going to be more quality, more durable, and or the performance is that much next level. So that's why all the products sell what they sell, is because, and they're around because they sell, and you produce them because they are that much better. So I hope I answered your question. Let's see, James here. Good time to get your Mod products. Let's all pick up the slack, since Mod are currently missing out on pop-up sales after races have been postponed and canceled now. Yeah, thanks, James. Very much so. Pop on over to modspeedshop.com. I need to go above your comment right now. So most definitely, it's hard, guys. I do this full time for a living now. Mod and everything like that. I'm a distributorship, so I bring in a lot of products, kind of like a pro shop, and work with everybody and try and spread the news and do everything. But yeah, a huge part of my business is going to events, hosting events, doing the live stuff. Really trying to promote the hobby, keep everybody running. And with no events going on, it seriously cuts into it. And yes, I'm smart where I have money saved for a rainy day, but that money only goes so far, as well as a lot of that money needs to be available for doing new projects, and having that cash on hand so that I can pay vendor or pay for, manufacturing and everything like that, to create all this cool stuff and make, really badass stuff for these races. Because there's a ton of stuff on the drawing board. It's just if you have the capital to do it, at the end of the day, it that's what it takes to get this stuff done. So yeah, much appreciated for everybody that's popping on, grabbing something, on modspeedshop.com, and helps bring all this together. Because soon enough, I'm probably going to have to go be a lawyer or something like that, and get off of here, go and sell houses or something. Probably get smart and not do this and struggle all the time to make $1 in the RC community.
Toy cars. It's all about toy cars. I hate
With
toy
cars. It's okay. I'll be 29 soon. I'm turning 29 and oh shoot, what is that? 7 days?
Is it a week now?
It's a week away, and I'll be 29. So I might have to give up all of this. I'll give it to you, Billy. You can start running everything, and then I'll go do something and have to get out of this RC industry. Let me see here. Support them on your local hobby shops. We will be back at racing. Yeah, thanks, Randall. Much appreciated. We have a pop-up shop out at Fear Farm as well. So thanks for all you do too as well, Randall. I know you're really working hard out there. But yeah, guys, it's next level. Most definitely support your track, support the locals, because after all this, you hope that they're still around. Everything, tracks, shops. They're making it happen and having everything available there for you. And it's this whole thing is kind of scary, in all honesty. So hopefully all of us can overcome, and especially these ones with a huge amount of overhead. Like I said, I'll be okay for a little while, as I don't have a ton of overhead. I really don't have, any employees. And a lot of these guys, they have employees. They've got a lot of insurance. They've got their overhead of their, tracks and buildings and stuff. It's unreal, what it takes to make this happen. And it's tens of thousands of dollars a month for these people to come out with. So, when the countries, the entire world, when the entire world tells you that you can't go to work or that you can't make money and forcibly makes you stay home,
That's tough.
What do you do?
Yep.
Realistically, I know all this stuff and what's happening, but what do they expect these businesses to do? I don't know. There's no answer.
There's not. I mean, our government's handing out millions and millions of dollars to companies and bailouts and this and that. But I mean,
we have trillions,
pay for it,
billions and trillions.
Yeah, and we got to pay for it when we go get back to work.
Oh yeah, every taxpayer.
Every taxpayer. Our government doesn't give you nothing for free, despite
nothing's free. Nothing's free in this life. And the sooner people figure that out, that they're like, "Oh, it's okay." No, it's not.
No.
We have to. Yeah, I think I was mentioning it the other day. It's like shutting down an engine and then ripping all the guts out of it.
Yeah.
And like thinking it's going to go back together the same way again. When you've already sold off all the guts, they've gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
They're sold on eBay. Good luck getting those things back again. It's over.
Yeah.
You're going to have one tire for a long time. This whole thing, you have to get the countries jump started again, because I'm seeing people too. They're starting to get different jobs. They're going other places. Who knows? If they're even going to stay with their current jobs. Because people are trying to hold out right now. But I know people aren't getting their unemployment. People aren't going to be able to pay their rent. People are not going to be able to pay for electricity and water. And I know right now they have sanctions in place where you can't kick anybody out. You can't shut off their power. You can't shut off their water, because when that happens, people are going to start to riot and people are going to start to loot.
Yeah.
So that's why they're saying that right now. But you can't go until December. You'll have they're still going to riot and they're going to loot if that happens.
Yeah.
Is that Trish in the background?
What's that?
Is that Trish in the background? Or
no.
Trina, I'm sorry.
No. I think it was a charger or something buzzing away.
Oh, popping on?
Yeah.
So yeah, this whole thing is nuts, and you have to get everything running again, because air conditioner is going to be gone, knobs will be gone, doors,
everything,
it's all going to be gone. So we got to make it happen. Let's see, Cameron Martin's having a lot of good stuff. Cindy Turney, thank you, Cindy, one of our Bakersfield crew.
Nice.
She's our one of the track owners. Okay, we have a long time ago, England told us what we could do and what we stood up and said, go to H. We will get going again, and this show will be how we want to and need the government. Yeah. And we don't need the government. Well, right now, Cameron, it's they're telling you what you can and can't do, and everybody everybody right now is basically saying, okay, they're going along with it, and they're like, all right, if we can't get this virus by jumping out the window, you could do that and you won't get the virus. People be like, okay,
Off I go.
off I go.
You know what though? I mean, we gotta stick with it for a bit.
I agree.
See if we can, because I mean, the biggest thing is the healthcare systems. We got to make sure that they don't fall apart.
100%. No, 100%. That it's real lives that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
It's they don't want, they're saying Italy, and I've got, my own personal views on that. But it's we can't overwhelm them. We can't let it get out of hand. But there's got to be a stopping point. They can't keep it extending it. It can't go so far where there's just no coming back. It's not worth it. And you start to do more harm than any sort of good. And they're saying now that this COVID thing was probably here back in November and December. So it's kind of one of the things now, and you start doing the numbers and running the numbers, and a lot of people I was hearing that was coming back negative for the flu. People had fevers. It was a 2-week ordeal for them. So they're saying that they had it already, and it's basically one of those things of like, okay, if we had it already and everything was still running the same, what's the difference now? How are all these numbers coming out just because now that you're testing, or this was already happening? Because 650,000 people die each year from the flu, but now flu deaths, pneumonia deaths, heart disease, and everything's dropping, and COVID's going up.
Right, but I do understand what the difference is between that is that it's so contagious and it happens so quickly. That's what overwhelms the hospital systems. It's not necessarily the number of death. It's in the short period of time that happens. I think that's where the biggest problem is.
For sure.
So I mean, doing our part for now.
I agree.
At some point or other, things will have to change, because telling us we got to stay home till December is not going to work.
No. 100%. I'm hearing it's going to be pushed back, and then they're saying a vaccine's going to be, FDA approved in a year or 18 months. There's no year or 18 months. It's no way.
Yeah.
No way. Yeah. So let me see. We have.
Biggest thing is, what? The year from now, when we come back and do another one of these things, everybody's still here watching it.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Jason Hughes, it's over this month. I sure hope so, Jason, because we need to get back to racing. We need to get this whole economy jump started again. So, hopefully we only have another, at first they told us 2 weeks. They're like, oh, your kids are going to be, out of school for 2 weeks. Now they're not going for the rest of the year. And now it was 2 weeks. It was like, okay, it was till March 31st. And they're like, okay, till April 31st. So are they going to keep pushing it on us? They give us 2 weeks. They spoon feed you a little bit, each time, so you don't freak out. And that, instead of them saying, okay, you're going to be out of work for 90 days, and when it really sets in. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping you're right. You see, exactly, almost 25% of the USA has had it. I have not seen any reports on that, but I would not say that you are incorrect, Cameron, because I know a lot of people. I've heard of people. I don't know if anybody currently, myself personally, anybody with COVID, but I know a lot of people that did have those kind of symptoms, and that they were really feeling bad for a couple. I just spit all over my freaking computer. Sorry about that. A lot of people having it beforehand, and or something like it, I should say. I can't say that it is it, but I have known of people, so it we'll see, most definitely. Let's see, Pascal. So as IP products don't have COVID, we're all good. We don't right now. Don't have symptoms. I social distance. I'm still taking the precautions. I don't see nobody but my buddy Jason, and he's chilling with me, and I see my bed pillow, and then come back to work and trying to fill orders and do stuff and stuff like that. And, so hopefully we're able to send stuff out and all that stuff. And MIP's been shut down. I grabbed stuff before all this was crazy. So no COVID on any of this stuff. That's good. Man-made. Yeah, sorry. It's man-made. Soon you will get, soon as you get it, you're contagious. So I wonder if you're contagious like after you've already had it. I don't think so. I think you build up antibodies to it and then you're good to go. Let's start a mod pool as to when it will end. Well, let's not do that because probably the government will come after me, so I'm not going to do
that. The man is watching.
No, they're always watching. CIA is going to be on you in 2 seconds. I'll get audited or something. I don't want that. Totally understand, very contagious, but still only can kill as bad as the flu. Sucks, but flu, HIV, Ebola, blah, blah, just saying. Yeah, Cameron, I've gone through a whole bunch of numbers. There's a lot of stuff that kills a lot of people. I think right now the main thing, like what Billy's saying, is that it's the rate that it happens, where it comes in so quick and it takes out people in like 14 days, you know, on the ventilators, and it overwhelms the system and everything like that. Though, yeah, there was H1N1. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't think that we've never seen this type of reaction before. Never. So even with the other ones, you know, killing way more people. But I think this reaction in a way is justified, but in another way is not, you know, for the extent that it's going to. But I could be wrong. I'm be the first to say it, but yeah, I think it was a right call to an extent, and hopefully we can all jump back from this and everything will go back to normal. I don't like to hear this new normal that a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, too. I'm not particularly keen on that myself.
No, I hear the new normal, you know, and words, you know, hold a lot of power as far as that goes, and kind of, to me, I don't know if people will be, you know, hugging anymore, shaking hands, you know. Is there going to be a 6-foot rule for the rest of everybody's eternity here? You know, is it going to be where you can't have large events over a certain amount of people? You know, is the new normal going to be the current thing that we're experiencing now? You know, and it's going to be a police state, and nobody's going to be able to go out because of, you know, seemingly what may happen, you know, and I don't like to hear that because it's something that could be very real. So let's see. Normal virus has to take over your immune system before you're contagious. Oh, gotcha. So you have to, well, they say people have to be like asymptomatic, right? Where you don't have anything, where you're not even feeling it, but I guess your immune system's kicking in.
They're actually testing that. They're not 100% sure that we are in fact building up immunity to this virus.
Because they get it twice?
Well, South Korea has reported that people have got it a couple times over.
So I don't know. Yeah. What I think, I just hope this whole thing is not the new normal, you know, how we react to every single, you know, because now there's going to be, you know, a new virus or a new something that's happening every 2 years, every year, you know, and we shut down the entire country, you know, an entire world, you know, so that's kind of scary for the reaction that's been had.
If people would stop eating weird animals,
don't eat bats. If you don't eat bats and like cook your stuff, probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
But because I think a lot of these ones have come out of China. I think China is going to get hit really, really hard by something, by the rest of the world, because I think the last 3, like swine flu, H1N1, I think they've all come out of there. I could be wrong, but
they did.
You know, the last 3 or something like that have all come out of China, and it's kind of like enough is enough type of thing, where I've seen some pretty sick videos of what they do there in China, and it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
You know, so it's pretty uncivilized with some of the stuff. But yeah, I'm just hoping this is not the new normal with how we react to stuff when, you know, the fear of the unknown and everything like that. because it's the roller coaster ride for 7.8 billion people. It's not, you can do it in little clusters, but there's no way you can do this to an entire world economy. Every time it'll collapse. It just can't happen. It just can't happen. Let me see here. We have the influenza 1917, 1918, just a new normal for this time period in our media environment. It's the century sickness. It happens, not scary, just more media driven. I agree with you, Cameron. Yeah, I remember 100-year thing is what they were talking about. When they had influenza back then, which is around today. It's a common cold. It always changes. Like every year you hear, and that's what I was hearing like back in November and December. They're like, man, guys, like this cold that we're getting is a bad strain this year. It's been putting me down for like a week, 2 weeks. And I was hearing that early. And you hear that, every couple months, or I'm sorry, every year there's a new strain of the flu, that's going around that's pretty bad. Make sure it's flu season, and stuff like that. So it's just the fact of life, though. All of us, we're not here forever. It is how it is, but we want to be here as long as we can, of course. So hopefully this all passes us and we never see this type of reactionary reaction again.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope it's the only pandemic any of us ever have to live through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Hughes, manufacturers need to pull all companies out of China. I think I think there's going to be a trend that way, Jason. As far as what we're going to see, in the future, of pulling more and doing more U.S. manufacturing. But my only fear, because I do all my stuff in the U.S., but I still have, a couple select things that I have to do in China that aren't my machine parts, like batteries. Our battery factories here are like non-existent, for getting stuff done. Things for doing cell phones, things for even quick manufacturing. We've got our buddy Andrew Berg here that does stuff over here, and I hear the prices that he pays for that type of stuff for like one-off stuff that it's pretty decent is like astronomically low for it. It's like, couldn't even start up the machine, like buy the material for how much they'll have a done finished part for you that's like totally custom and needs setups and everything. I don't know how they do it for that cheap.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, a lot of these companies are still going to go to them because of the fact of, if they don't do it, another company is going to come in and swoop on them, because sometimes you can just get by with what China does. Yeah, you're going to have usually a better product and stuff like that in the U.S., but we've lost a lot of our manufacturing capabilities here. And I've been in the industry for the past 8 years as far as machining and stuff like that, at least for my little thing. But we've lost a lot of capability here. We've lost a lot of that, old school, machinists and engineers and everything like that. It's not the same anymore. And we don't have the type of knowledge here anymore and everything to do what a lot of these industries need, as well as the manpower and being able to, do it at the cost that these guys want to do it to, because of the, their prices over there are crazy low, and you'd have to increase your costs here 5 times, I would say sometimes, for what China can do it for, and there you can have, there's like 10 factories there, and they're all in the same block, and they all do the same thing. So you can even shop around at those guys too, so it's a catch-22 with a lot of stuff. Like, luckily the stuff that I do, I'm able to control everything. I'm probably the only person in the world that's doing it, and I can be so fast at doing it within my own realm that they can't come to me, or it's not even worth their time to come after it, because of the fact that you already own the market. People already know the prices. But I'm in a really small group, like you have something that's kicking ass out there and it's making millions of dollars, they're going to come in and try and undercut you, with something they copy, so it's a really, really tough place to be for a lot of industries, especially when they know how much everything can be. and stuff like that. So we have to get more competitive. We have to get more knowledge base back here, and that's going to take years, because over the last 30 or 40 years since NAFTA, you know, they've basically, when I was talking about the engine, they've taken all those components, they sold them off, and we're just we're in the junkyard now as far as our manufacturing capabilities in comparison to what they can do. You know, where they're a jet fighter. You know, so we need to rebuild it again, and we need all new. So have to get into trades more, have to get back into manufacturing, have to start knowing how to do your own crap, because once we're reliant on these other people, it's not good. And that's what they're seeing right now with all of our medicines and everything like that. Everything's made in China, and we're all dependent on them, you know, for all our manufacturing and everything that's going on. So they're like, you know, now that they don't have a supply chain, they're freaking out, you know. So it's pretty crazy. So yeah, people hear me ranting for the past 2 hours now, basically. Both of us. This is our longest thing. Yeah, we have a steady amount of people on here, but yeah, guys, just all this is crazy. You know, we're all RC guys. We all have a passion for this thing, and make sure that you support your locals and your companies and stuff like that. Make sure that they're around. You know, rebuild your stuff. You know, make sure you talk to your RC buddies. They might be around lonely and stuff like that. I know a lot of RC dudes are usually single guys and stuff, so the only sort of social interaction they get is with their homies at the track.
That's it.
So make sure that you check in on them, you know, see what's going on, talk some RC with them, and hopefully not go too crazy, you know, as we try and get through this awful state that we've only had for about a month now, but no, about a month and a half now, I would say.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is soon. Keep sane. Keep talking to your friends. You have any final words for everybody there, Billy?
Well, stay home. Keep your chin up. Stay safe. Make sure you stay in touch with all your RC buddies, and you know, we'll get through this. We'll get through it. I'll be back at the track soon enough.
All right, buddy. Well, you have a good time up there. I'll talk to you soon. Hold on after the video, and talk to you guys later.
All right.
The third Mod Live Talks, third episode. We'll have another one, I think, tomorrow. See you guys. 6 o'clock. Bye.
Cheers, guys.